What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. How are you? Hopefully, you guys are doing well. I'm doing good as well. Y'all, in today's video, we are going to talk about why me and my mom's relationship is very toxic. Let me explain. Listen, our relationship has been toxic since day one. I really believe that my mom had an issue coping with my disability. And her way of coping with my disability was taking out her aggression on me. Whether it was cursing me out all the time, whether it was making fun of my disability. Also, she would get very pissed off at me when people would stare at me. She would blame that on me because I used to walk in a walker. So if I didn't walk in my walker the way that she wanted me to, that was an issue. And that was a serious issue. It was almost like she was ready to whoop my ass because of that. She has always been very verbally abusive towards me. And not just that, it was a little bit mixed with some physical in a certain way. She used to get mad over these simplest things. It can be if my handwriting wasn't neat. It can be if I didn't walk in my walker the right way. It can be if I didn't say certain words correctly, she would get upset. And it's like I never understood that because I do have a disability. My disability is called cerebral palsy, which affects my speech and motor skills. So I used to always blame myself thinking that I did something wrong. I used to really not like myself. I hated myself. I used to always be like, it's my fault that God made me like this. It's my fault that I can't talk correctly. It's my fault that I can't walk in my walker the way that she wants me to. All I wanted at the time was to just make her happy. And it seemed like nothing I did was going to make her happy. She was always upset about something when it came to me. And I get that she was going through her own personal things, but when you take it out on your child, I believe that that's going way too far. And it did not get to my dad finally decided to move me with him that I started to notice the difference between what a parent is supposed to be. And I can honestly say that my dad and my stepmother treated me with so much respect and so much love. Did I get disciplined? Absolutely. But it's different. My dad never talked negative about my disability. My stepmother never talked negative about my disability. They always wanted me to win. Were they tough on me? Absolutely. They was very tough on me, very tough on me. But I'd rather for my dad to do what he did than my mom to always be aggressive and angry with me for making simple mistakes. My dad was never like that. He would teach me. He would educate me. He always put life into me. Did I always receive it that way? No, I did not. Because when I first moved in with my father, I used to get upset with him too. Because I'm like, damn, I just came from somebody talking shit to me. Now I got you, pushing me and pushing me. So I started pushing back in a way. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And that used to be my thing. I'm not doing that. I don't feel like it. Or when me and my dad would get in arguments, like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Like, why you talking to me like that? Although he wasn't really talking to me crazy. It was just something in my mind was making me feel like, okay, he's trying to play me like my mom did. He's trying to do me like she did. But that was not the case for him. He was just trying to, put me in a better position so I can be independent. Which it worked because after a while, I started adapting. I started doing things for myself. I started not needing him as much. I started not needing my stepmother as much. I became more free. But with me being more free, I also became aggressive. So when my mom would reach out to me, it would be like, yeah, what? Like, what do you want? Like, why are you calling me? Or I would call her by her first name. It was never, hey, ma, how you doing? It was never that for me. I couldn't even say I love you to that woman. And to be honest, I still don't say I love you to that woman. Do I love her? Absolutely. I just cannot verbalize it. And I can't verbalize it because of everything that she put me through. It's so hard for me to get over that. Like, to the point where sometimes I do have flashbacks and nightmares of what happened to me. And for the sake of YouTube, I cannot really say everything that happened to me. But the things that I spoke to her about that affects me, she either will apologize for half of it and deny the rest. So it's like, as a parent, when your child tells you that something that you did affect them, why can't you just apologize for it? Why are you so in denial? That's what bothers me. That's why our relationship is the way it is now. In my late 30s, it's like all I wanted was for you to just say, yeah, you know what? I effed up. I shouldn't have done you that way. That's all I wanted from that woman. I wanted her to acknowledge not just part of her wrong, but all of her wrong. Because regardless of me having a so-called smart mouth, like she said, that wasn't the reason why you did what you did to me. You always blamed it on, or you're not doing this correctly, you're not doing that correctly. And was my mouth kind of smart? It could have been. Because at a certain point, I just got tired. You get tired of somebody verbally abusing you. You get tired of somebody just going from hot to cold on you for things that you cannot control. So it's like I started getting mad. Yes, absolutely. And it was so weird because she used to always yell at me, or I would get a whooping for doing the simple things, but then an hour later, hey baby, tell me that you love me, I'm sorry. What? You want me to tell you that I love you after you verbally abuse me / physical abuse? What is this? What type of love is that? That's not love that a child deserves. So I was always very confused by that woman. Like, after a while, like, and even in my adulthood, I started to really think that this woman is kind of bipolar. That's what she gives. She gives bipolar tease, and that's something that I can't deal with. Like, I need you to get the help that you need. I need you to acknowledge your wrong. Then maybe we can have a consistent relationship. Is our relationship always toxic now? No, it's not always toxic now. Her and I have had decent conversations now. We can talk on the phone for a little bit, but the stuff that we talk about is very, how can I put this? The stuff that her and I talk about, it's not really nothing at all. Like, her and I may talk about this show called Baddies. We may talk about Jocelyn's Cabaret. But when it comes to, like, me talking about how I feel as far as my health now, I don't give her any type of anything when it comes to my health. Or if I'm feeling sick, I don't tell her nothing like that. Because of the type of way that she used to treat me. She used to always think that I was making things up when I would say I'm in pain. Or she would always think that, oh, you're not the only one that goes through that type of pain. And I would get so frustrated by that because I'm like, I am disabled. You know, my disability is something that is going to get worse as I get older. So why are you, always downplaying what I'm saying? So that's why I don't really tell her nothing now. I keep the conversation very simple, very short. And yeah, that's why her and I are very toxic. And I know that y'all gonna be like, well, damn, that still is your mother. Yes, she is. But at the same time, I was always her child. I was always her son. That means that doesn't give her the right to treat me how she did. But she still chose to do it. But with that being said, y'all, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all. Have a good evening.